For the past 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, Nigeria has been having challenges that are beckoning and waiting for answers and solutions. That is why we are bringing to you our program, State of the Nation. And this is going to come up on our flagship program this morning on ITV. I am hereby inviting you to join me, Bola Bakare, your host, on State of the Nation, so that we can hasten the motions that brings national development. It's going to be a regular basis on Tuesdays. Make it a date with me. I'll be there waiting for you, and then we shall discuss Nigeria on an holistic level. Welcome back to our lofty program, State of the Nation. The word out there is, oh, we want restructuring. Oh, we want to go our own way. Oh, things are skewed in somebody's favor. Oh, that's it. You see, the complaints are myriad out there. And I'll tell you this honestly, some of them are well-founded. But the thing is, let us bring up the ideas. Let us bring up what we think of solutions. But the final thing is, the solution is not going to be unitary. It's not going to be one person's solution. It has to be a collective solution. And as such, that is why we have to look at all the parameters involved. From the man who says, I want to leave Nigeria, to the man who says, my ethnic group is being shortchanged, to the man who says he's not getting a fair chance in governance or fair chance in employment. You see, those things are well-founded. But the thing we need to do is we need to have a very good salad. Salad is made of different fruits, and when you see it, it has different colors. We have to bring in the different colors to have a fantastic salad. So that is what we are going to do on our program. Bring in ideas, synergize them together, and look for a way forward. Our discourse this morning is going to be based on 6 regions postulation. Solution in restructuring. I repeat that. 6 region postulation, because some people are coming up with the idea that, okay, why don't we, if we think we want to move ahead, we don't have the time to start creating regions. We have existing regions, which are 6 as we speak. And as at the last meeting, I'm not trying to say it was broached by a group of people or a group of that. Because if you say Governors Forum, there is nothing in our constitution that says Governors Forum. It is an idea of those in governance that agree that, okay, let us form clubs within ourselves, because I call them a club. It's a Governors Forum, it's a club. But when they say things that are pertinent, we should not isolate it. So there was this postulation from some governors that said, okay, why don't we even look at what the structure we have on ground, which is the 6 regions we have on ground. Let us use this as a basis for restructuring. With me in the studio to do justice to this topic is my brother. He is a typical Nigerian. He is Igbo, he is Yoruba, he is Hausa. So when he is talking, you know a Nigerian is talking. I have with me in the studio the person of Mr. Chuks Akuna. He is the executive director of the Authority newspapers. Mr. Chuks, you're welcome to this program.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you too.
Nigerians.
Thank you for coming. Like I rightly said in my opening, some governors postulated the idea of, let us move from where we are. Like the balance that goes on out there. Start with what you have on hand to move forward. We already have 6 regions in place. And they are postulating that, okay, let's use this as a basis. Do you, from your own concept, from the fact that you're a typical total Nigerian, do you think this is a solution? It might be a little bit in restructuring.
As presently constituted, in my opinion, you know, of course, no system is perfect.
That's right. Of course, yes.
But you see, the idea for a 6-region structure did not start today.
Yes, of course, yes.
And, you know, it was first canvassed during the 1994 Constitutional Conference.
Yes.
But because, of course, the late Abacha died and Absalom came on board, and of course we jettisoned the report and stuff. But then the issue is this: you ask yourself, is a problem with Nigeria about regionalism? Is a problem with Nigeria about laws? I don't think there are shortage of laws in Nigeria.
Okay.
But is the willpower
to implement them?
To implement them.
Agreed.
Because there's nothing wrong with the way Nigeria is structured as it is today, except
with that 6 regions. You're in consonance with
no, even the state structure. Okay. Except like if you talk about, because you see what does the regions seek to achieve? What do regions seek to achieve? It's a question of it seeks to achieve inclusion, if I'm not mistaken. So then you ask yourself, how did we come about these regions? At independence, we have 3 regions. We have the northern region, the western region, and the eastern region. Then, due to several agitations, in 1963, we added the Midwest. Midwest was carved out of the western region. But then, as it is today, even talking about the regions itself, it's a very structurally deficient postulation, because we have at independence we have 3 regions: north, west, east. So today, the northern region, the erstwhile northern region, has 19 states. Okay. Whilst the 2 regions in the south, the west and the east,
it was combined. Where the 3?
No, that's a combined. Okay. Combined, the 2 combined, because you have something like that was 3. Then now you now split the 3 into states. Okay. So the eastern region, the whole of the eastern region, and the whole of the western region combined now have 17 states. Okay. The north alone has 19 states. So I think there's something fundamentally wrong with that structure to begin ab initio. So because if you look at what you just said now, that okay, the 17-19 structure we have on ground is skewed towards an advantage somewhere. Yeah, exactly.
But if you look at the 6 regions, short of the southeast that has 5. All the others are even numbers.
Exactly, but you see, they're not even numbers in that sense, because the northwest has 7 states. Yes. The north central has 7 states, because it has 6 states with FCT. So it's 7. FCT is not a state. No. It's
it looks like a state.
It's seen as 37th. Yes, it's seen as 37th state, because whatever the states have, we try to give the FCT. So the southeast has 5. So, and this has always been the cause of the problem, cause of agitation, even up till today. Because the issues are, why regionalism? It's to enhance inclusion. So, and who says there can be inclusion even without structure as we are today? You know, I had the last speaker talking about, your last discussion was about somebody assuming the position of president, and then coming to mouth that he belongs to nobody, he belongs to everybody. But in word and in deed, we see we've
seen a disparity.
Exactly, because you see, let's take this for example. I'm not only concerned about what's happening in Abuja, in the Aso Rock. It's happening across the states. You see that we've seen persons who become governors and who come from a particular part of a state, a rural part of a state, and in 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they move the seat of power from the state capital, literally, to their villages. That's corruption. We've seen
that is a human factor. That is the attitude.
No, that is the problem. So you see, if people get things on merit, if resources or if political patronage and appointments, projects are dispensed without fear or favor, all these agitations will not be there. No, because you see, like I said, look at what happened in Ondo State in January. The governor comes out to say, Governor Kerry says, okay, we have forest reserves. Human beings are not supposed to live in forest. Okay, henceforth we don't want to see anybody in the forest. 7 days leave the forest. And we have a federal government that says no. whoever is in the forest should stay put. So then, you now ask yourself the question, are laws being applied selectively? We saw what happened a few days ago in last week in exactly a week today in Muri, Taraba State, where the emir, he publicly incited his subjects against kidnappers. In fact, he advocated, he told them that, in fact, he went to the point of saying, for those who speak Hausa, he said, Mukare, that if we're going to all perish, we'll perish. So you ask yourself, the emir is Fulani. Had the Oni of Ife or the Obio Furniture made such a pronouncement, today the presidency will have been foaming in its mouth, and the SSS will have invited the person. So, like I said, it's not about the death of laws, because even if you do, you see, even if you do the regional system of government,
because that's what I want to
yes,
do.
Yes,
exactly. Let me add what you're going to say by throwing in a question in there. When I say the 6 regions, you were quick to give me numbers of 5 here, 6 here, and 7 there.
Exactly.
What I am looking at is not the numbers that makes up the region.
Exactly.
It is what the region will do to our kind of governance. You know, now everybody goes cap in hand, everybody comes to Abuja cap in hand to come and take money and go back home.
Yes. If
we are to practice regionalism, the reverse is the case.
It may not be necessarily the case, because see, you see, I heard you talking about semantics.
That's right.
See, Shakespeare said that a rose by any other name will smell as sweet. So if you say 6 and half a dozen, what difference does it make? Okay. See, on paper, after the military took over in 1966, in January 1966, UNC promulgated Decree 34 that abolished the regions, and he created a unitary system. After UNC was killed, Gowon came and reverted to and abolished the unitary form of system and went to and renamed Nigeria Federal Republic. But you and I know that today we are quick to, like each time we call Buhari, we say President Muhammadu Buhari, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But you and I, even when we say that, we
are not practicing
we
element
put a lie.
Of that word.
Yes, we put a lie to what we say, because you see, if what we ask ourselves, what does a federalism entail? Let us study countries that have federal systems.
Okay. You
understand? Because you see, if we practice federalism to its letter, we won't be where we are today. So the fear is, if we don't address these issues, if you have 5 regions, you have 3 regions, you have 6 regions, the regions will still not be autonomous. So we have on paper.
You know, that is a concept that should come with the postulation.
No, it should. No, it should. It should. You see, like, it should, but you see,
it's not there.
I think it's wired to our brains. It's wired to our brains, where even in the states, people feel that the government cannot do wrong. We saw
it's like a semi or demigod.
Yes, yeah, exactly. We are used to calling presidents, they're old baba and stuff, father and stuff. So
that's an African thing.
Yeah, it's an African thing, and they tend to believe that they have this godlike persona around them. So because the postulation is have a president, then have 6 vice presidents.
Yes.
But then,
I am a positive thinker.
No, I am. I'm very positive. But then, like I said, you see, it's not. We have street lights in Abuja. We have traffic lights in Abuja. Every day, people run through red lights, and nobody gets caught.
That's the human factor. That's the attitude. That's an attitude problem.
It's a problem. That's what I said. You see, if we let me give you an example. Talk about federalism. Lagos generates the most value-added tax in Nigeria, followed by states like Ogun. All the breweries in Nigeria are in Lagos. For instance, they generate they pay a lot of tax from sale of alcohol.
That's right.
Then this VAT gets
pulled
to table,
our Commonwealth,
and shared according to landmass and very funny parameters. And then states like Kano, they see these same products they sell and bring money into the public till. States like Kano, they have what they call a HISPA. They get trucks conveying beer. I don't drink, so I don't. But You see, they get vehicles that convey this and crush and damage
Destroy
this.
the-
But at the end of the day, at the end of every month, they go to FAC and still take money from Nigerian breweries. So these are contradictions. These are things we have to sit down and resolve. Let me give you an example. If you like Katsina, for instance, in 2019, the records are there. Katsina generated 8 billion for the whole year, and from FAC it got 138 billion. 136 billion.
Okay.
So it means that other states subsidize Katsina to the tune of about 130 billion.
Okay.
So then you ask yourself, what is Katsina bringing to the table? But we see a president who's from Katsina State, for instance, every project, every important project. Just last week, Governor Masari announced that President Muhammad Buhari has graciously approved the sum of 6.5 billion for cattle and stuff.
That will kind of reduce the movement and then
no. But you see, where is this money coming from? It's coming from other.
It's a Commonwealth thing.
It's a Commonwealth. So, and you see, if we go back to regionalism, and we still bring money back or resources to the table, as we are, because even with our federal system, we're not supposed to bring money to the table. Even with our federal system, we're not supposed to bring. We're not supposed to bring money. We're
supposed to chip in to the federal.
Exactly. We should pay, yes, like defense,
foreign affairs.
You understand? But you see now, you see, and that's the problem. You see, and we're talking about the regionalism. Nobody's talking about the local government system.
No, let me impute a question for you.
Okay.
Now, because like I told you earlier, I am a positive thinker.
Of course, we are very positive.
We are positive thinkers. We're now looking at these 6 regions.
Yes.
It's a postulation from some governors. And there's some sense in it.
A lot of people, apart from governors, a lot of people too have said,
it makes a lot of sense. But what I'm saying now is, you see, let us look at those regions as operating regions. Forget about their numbers. Because I can tell you one thing. If we revert back to regions, the local government will be stronger than the state. Honestly, the local government will be stronger than the state. Then, as a region, you are free. If you like, cut up your region into 1,000 states. That is, you are going to fund it yourself, whatever. Nobody is going to give you money to fund it.
Exactly.
So those are angles. I am looking at that. If we look at it from that angle, you don't have to wait for Abuja to come and create states from you. In other words, there will be no complaint that I have 5 states and some other regions have 20 or whatever.
Yes, because a region is a region.
A region is a region. So it becomes an in-house thing within that region. That is why I am looking at the postulations of these governors that, okay, it's well-founded. But unfortunately, our constitution does not give us room to maneuver. But if we keep it at the back of our minds that, okay, we want to achieve this restructuring based on this line of thought, that is why I guess we will make an incursion. And that is why I am asking you to give me another different perspective that aids this factor of, let's look at 6 regions. What are your thoughts on this?
No, beautiful. Like I said, you see, anything that's going to advance our democracy, it's welcome.
Yes.
You know what I said, but we have to strengthen institutions. And I say that every time. You see, we look at the quality of lawmaking in the states. I mean, across
in some states, it's non-existent.
No, across. But you see, subsequent administrations. You see that the structures of the executive. I mean, the executive is becoming much stronger, because you see, like let me give you an example from my state, Anambra State. In 1999, we had a governor called a man called Badinju, Chimoke Badinju. He was governor. Then we had somebody called Okemwaro. He was chairman of a local government. They went to court. They were loggerheads. You understand? So, but you can imagine such a thing will not happen today, because I don't know if you understand. Because you see, at the time, local government chairmen were elected even before governors, if you recall.
Yeah, they make part of the electorate that gets the governor there.
Exactly. So they are very strong. But you see, after their tenure, because I think the Absalami administration made a very big blunder, because they gave 3 years to local government administration. So by the time a lot of chairmen who had problems, who had problems with the governors
were thrown out.
So immediately their tenure ended in 2002. Because most governors did not do anything about the local government system, so they just kept their stooges there until they consolidated in 2003 and got re-elected, and that was what killed the local system in Nigeria. But we're talking about regionalism now. You see, like I said, if we strengthen structures in Nigeria, you see, we're all going to benefit. And I tell people, like, as far back as 2003, a state like Kogi, chairman of House Committee on Solid Minerals, told me that while a state like Kogi interested in exploiting its solid minerals, it's richer than a state like River State. Even look at Zamfara, for instance, a state like Zamfara, which we all seen the kind of gold reserves they have. So no state, there's no region that will not be self-sustained. Look at Niger State, for instance. Niger State is in north central.
Yes, with the huge landmass.
Niger State is bigger than the whole of the southeast and two other states combined. In landmass. But every report about kidnapping, they have so much land and
ungoverned areas.
You see, you have the biggest river in Africa, second biggest river in Africa, running through Niger State. We have big rivers. We have Guara and stuff. And okay, look at example. We saw when the late Governor Kure, for instance, the late Governor Kure.
Why Kure?
No, not why Kure. Abdulkadir. Why Kure is the military man.
Okay.
Abdulkadir Kure. He came up with this proposition that since a lot of dams, power generating plants are in Niger State, and because I lived in Kwara State, I used to live on the bank of River Niger, and we used to see annual flooding. They suffer a lot. All these communities that live along, and these are rice growing belts of the state. So let us give back something to them. You know, he proposed hyperdeck, but policy because did not like him, and a lot of things. You know, they think they killed the bill. So because you see, you cannot allow people, like we're talking about PIB, for instance. Now it's part of restructuring.
Yes,
it's part of because let's give back to those. We agree that you bear more the brunt of all exploration, degradation. So nothing stops us from giving states like, you understand, states like Niger, that a lot of power. Every year they open the dam, you know,
and then a lot of flooding.
Because they are citizens of the state, they shouldn't be displaced, but they get displaced every year. So these are the issues. If we, as long as we play politics with this issue of structuring, so whether we get the 6 regions, we still have our politicians who will play around that. Look at the issue of zoning, for instance. We all saw the clamor after Obasanjo, when Obasanjo was leaving office. I know the pressure several northern elements put on Obasanjo that there was a gentleman's agreement for power to shift to the north. And what happened? Obasanjo buckled and brought Yaradua. The Yaradua died. Jonathan, by virtue of being the vice president, he completed his tenure and then went ahead to contest, and a lot of people in the north felt that it was wrong for Jonathan to contest. And what they did, they mounted so much pressure, and Buhari came. And Buhari is doing 8 years. The midway, almost at the end of the tenure of Buhari, some northerners are now of the opinion that we should do away with zoning. So like I said, a lot of people will keep manipulating not just our conventions, because you have what you call convention. Yeah. Everything must not necessarily be on paper. We have countries that have unwritten constitutions. We have countries that have fluid constitutions that are not written, but they're there. We have countries that don't have armed forces, but by convention, people know that this is what they ought to do. This is what they ought not to do. So we even if we want to talk about structuring along regional lines, let us make very strong legislation to strengthen our institutions. People, like you said, our value system, people are wired here to break the law. I'm sorry, that's the truth.
Are you inclusive?
People, yeah,
you break the law too.
When I say people, because you see a lot of people, when they see that people are not looking, they just say, I mean, it doesn't matter.
Something as lame as beating the traffic lights.
Exactly. Tax evasion.
That's right.
It's not. I'm sorry to say this, but the richest people in Nigeria don't pay taxes.
If they do, we will have more than enough money for our budget.
We'll have, but they don't pay taxes. I had this friend who used to be chairman of the House Committee on Aviation, and he told me that the people who travel the most are lawmakers. I mean, the people travel because they're politicians, because they have to travel to their villages every weekend. He told me that every member of the House of Reps and every senator met him they should give him fan stickers so that he can pass the.
Beat the. I'll come into the apron.
No, not even that. No, so they can pass without paying toll.
Oh, that 2 naira, that little
200 naira. So he told me, he said, if these people who are the cream of society do not want to pay, who should pay? So these are the issues. So if we don't strengthen institutions, so we create regions, we do the regional system, we'll still find a way. We have a very strong president, we'll still back to spot zero.
Thank you very much. And to you, my viewers there, that has been my brother, Chuks Akuna, the Executive Director of Authority Newspapers. He has been able to weigh in on the 6 regions postulation by some governors. If this was going to be a factor in our restructuring, he did not go against it. He is all for it. But his caveat is we need strong institutions to make that happen. And to you, my viewers, don't go away.